William Shakespeare, the great playwright of the Renaissance England, a national poet, internationally recognized, William Shakespeare was born in the town of Stratford, which is located north of London.
Hello viewers, this is our video about Shakespeare's life, and today we're going to talk about his world.
And my first question is, how many children were in Shakespeare's family?
William was the third child of John Shakespeare, a leather merchant, and Mary Arden, a local landed heiress. William had two older sisters, Joanne and Judith, and three younger brothers, Gilbert, Richard, and Edmund. Before William's birth, his father became a successful merchant and held official positions as alderman and bailiff, an office resembling a mayor. However, records indicate John's fortunes declined sometime in the late 1570s.
And my question is, do you know where Shakespeare got his education?
Scant records exist of William's childhood and virtually none regarding his education. Scholars have surmised that he most likely attended the King's New School in Stratford, which taught reading, writing, and the classics. Being a public official's child, William would have undoubtedly qualified for free tuition. But this uncertainty regarding his education has led some to raise questions about the authorship of his work and even about whether or not William Shakespeare ever existed.
Do you know any more interesting facts about Shakespeare's life?
William Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway on November 28, 1582 in Worcester in Canterbury province. Hathaway was from Shottery, a small village a mile west of Stratford. William was 18 and Anne was 26, and as it turns out, pregnant. Their first child, a daughter named Susanna, was born on May 26, 1583. 2 years later, on February 2nd, 1585, twins Hamlet and Judith were born. Hamlet later died of unknown causes at age 11.
Everyone knows that Shakespeare had a period in his life when he disappeared and did not make any notes. Why do you think he did that?
There are 7 years of William Shakespeare's life where no records exist after the birth of his twins in 1585. Scholars call this period the lost years, and there is wide speculation on what he was doing during this period. One theory is that he might have gone into hiding for poaching game from the local landlord, Sir Thomas Lucy. Another possibility is that he might have been working as an assistant schoolmaster in Lancashire. It is generally believed he arrived in London in the mid to late 1580s and may have found work as a horse attendant at some of London's finer theatres, a scenario updated centuries later by the commonplace aspiring actors and playwrights in Hollywood and Broadway.
What do you know about Shakespeare's writing style?
William Shakespeare's early plays were written in the conventional style of the day, with elaborate metaphors and rhetorical phrases that didn't always align naturally with the story's plot or characters. However, Shakespeare was very innovative, adapting the traditional style to his own purposes. With only small degrees of variation, Shakespeare primarily used a metrical pattern consisting of lines, often rhythmed, iambics, or blank verse to compose his plays.
What do you know about Shakespeare's Globe Theatre?
Well, by 1599, William Shakespeare and his business partners built their own theatre on the south bank of the Thames River, which they called the Globe. In 1605, Shakespeare purchased leases of real estate near Stratford for £440, which doubled in value and earned him £60 a year. This made him an entrepreneur as well as an artist, and scholars believe these investments gave him the time to write his plays uninterrupted.
What was the main problem in the 17th century in England, which Shakespeare also reflected in his works?
During Shakespeare's time, people's lives were often short. As many as one half of the children born never lived beyond 15 years and never reached adulthood. Also, the average lifespan of an adult was only 30 years. This short lifespan was due to the limited medical knowledge. In a time when antiseptics and antibiotics weren't known, doctors used somewhat primitive forms of medication. One thing that really tested the medical knowledge was the bubonic plague, the disease that often plagued England always appeared suddenly and spread quickly. One was to temporarily close all London theaters when the death rate was high. People believed that this would help to prevent human contact. At this time, England's food supply was uncertain, even when the plague was dormant. This caused the whole population to acquire illnesses caused by vitamin deficiency. So all these problems were stamped on Shakespeare's poems with the usage of death and life topics and the figure of love as an immortal value.
Do you know how the chronology of Shakespeare's plays changed?
From histories written in the late 1580s to the early 1590s, Shakespeare moved into comedies. For the last portion of his writing career, Shakespeare focused his work on tragedies and problem plays.
Not many people know what kind of themes Shakespeare wrote in his sonnets. What can you tell about it?
The sonnets accurately portray the heart of the poet, leading the public to speculate on Shakespeare's views on sex, marriage, religion, and life.